today's session really is titled The Body is a Recycle Center of the Mind. And this is easily understood and translated as, you know, when you're feeling really stressed about something and you're thinking, oh God, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I'm so worried about X, Y, and Z. This is your body manifesting the worries of the mind. Or your neck is so, And I'll tell you a quick story here, is that it wasn't last year, it was the year before. I had been traveling for a couple of months and I came back to London. I hadn't seen my family for a couple of months and I was a bit kind of like, what's going on here? What's happening? I was all like that, went straight into that kind of mum mode. And a couple of months later, I found that my neck was literally, I was like this, and my shoulder was like this, and I had this knee ache, and I had all these kind of aches and pains that were actually becoming so, they were overtaking so much that I was finding that I was struggling to sleep. I was finding that I was struggling with my yoga practice because I wasn't able to move properly. And I saw a healer in Ibiza, and I told him, I'm giving you the very quick story so you don't zone out. I told him about this, and he said, how did you do this? How did it happen? And I was calling it an injury. And he said, how did you do it? How did it happen? And I said, I was traveling in India and I was carrying this big heavy bag, and it was this, it was that. And he was like, okay, and he was moving my arm like this, and he was moving my shoulders, and he was moving my head, and he went like this. He said, the heavy bags are up here. And I just sort of thought, of course they are. And he said, and this stress is traveling down your neck, across your shoulders, and it has got a grip on you now. And I was literally like that, of course it has. And he did a treatment on me, a cup treatment on me, and a treatment session. And I have never looked back. And the main part of his healing was that I understood in myself, I'm holding all this stuff up there and I think that I have control of my problems because I'm using the mind like this, like crazy. But what was happening was I wasn't just using the mind. It was traveling down and it was affecting me, and my body was warning me. It was saying, Mickey, you've got to stop. You've got to do something about this. Because if it hadn't came down, if it hadn't traveled down, if I hadn't felt all like this, I wouldn't have seeked out the healer. And he wouldn't have helped me to see that what I was doing by using the mind to control the mind is and overthinking and big anxiety moments was actually having an effect on me. It was actually a very powerful situation that I was in. Why am I telling you this? Is because this wonderful body that we've got is designed in a way not only to just recycle through the stuff of the mind. Of course, that's what we want it to do. That's one of its optimal functions. But one of the other functions that this amazing machine has is a warning system. It's telling us something is wrong and you have to do something about it. Like getting a rash on your face or, any kind of irritable skin. Generally, this is a warning sign. Allergies, warning, there's a problem here. And it starts very small. And what our yoga practice does, what the practice that we're going to do today does, is it helps us to tune into the warning systems of our body and acknowledge them and understand that, I thought that I didn't have problems, but actually if I don't take care of those problems, they might escalate into more serious problems, because when we don't take care of our health and our wellness, it generally doesn't go back that way. Not at this age. It only goes in that direction. The problems tend to escalate. And it's not until we do something about them can we defuse, disintegrate, and come back to more optimal health, physically and mentally. And so that, my friends, is what we're going to do today. We're going to get on that mat, so get your mat, get something to sit on, a brick, or I have this absolutely amazing little cushion, this meditation cushion that I love. Get a brick and your mat, and really that's all, and I'll meet you on there. So we're going to begin with starting at the top. We're going to work our way all the way down. So taking an inhale and a nice exhale. An inhale forward, up to the neck, down, forward, round, back, down, forward, round, back, down. And then the next one, we're going to bring it up, forward, round, back, down, and staying there, down. We're going to take the arms out and bring them together and connect the fingers and take that little basket to the back of the head. Elbows point forward. Take an inhale, open the armpits, and on the exhale, bring the chin into chest. We're going to take 5 breaths there. Making sure that you still sit up and don't collapse forward. 1. Inhale, expand the ribs, and exhale, 2. Inhale and exhale, 3, 4, and on 5, bring the hands around the side of the head and bring the head up. Take the hand over one side, ear to shoulder, 1, 2, nice release here, 3, 4, 5, bring the head back up to center. Let's go to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 5, bringing that up to center. Then we're going to, again, each time make sure the shoulder back. We're going to exhale the chin into the chest. We're going to keep the chin in nice and tight and draw a semicircle, if you like, up to the left, and then lift the throat, the chin up, stretching the neck, and then on the exhale, bring that chin in. We're going to go 5 times the same side. So inhale, lift up, stretch the front of the throat, exhale down. 2. Inhale, stretch, exhale down. Inhale, stretch, exhale down. Inhale, stretch, exhale down. And we're going to go to the other side. Inhale, lift it up, stretch the front of the throat, exhale down. Inhale, stretch, exhale down. Inhale, stretch, exhale down. Inhale, stretch, exhale down. And then the center, inhale, stretch, but really stretch the front of the throat, really lift up. So you're not going back with the head, you're stretching the front of the throat. And then bring the head back to center so that your neck feels a little bit longer there. Bring that hand onto the knee, and then with the other hand, we're going to circle that up, stretch, and then extend over. Inhale, lift, exhale, extend over. Inhale, lift, exhale, extend over. That's 3. Exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale, 5. Back to center, hand goes down, going to the other side. Inhale, exhale, stretch over. Inhale, exhale, that's 2. Exhale, that's 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. And 5, coming back to center. We're going to come off your seating. There's my lovely little cushion. And we're going to sit. Look in the same seating position. Extend the arms forward, connect the fingers. Exhale the palms away. Roll forward. Inhale, expand. Open up those armpits. And on the exhale, you're doing the opposite. Scoop the tail under, draw the chin in. So inhale, we're doing 5 of those. Open. Exhale, draw the navel in, lift the pelvic floor, chin into chest. Inhale, rolling there. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And this is our last one. Inhale. And then exhale the hands down. Flick those fingers. So flick the fingers. Lift the arms up. In the inhale, exhale down halfway. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up and then circle, really stretch through the fingers. Bring the right hand to the floor and the left hand is going to pivot around, cup over that right knee, and we're going to twist. Inhale, sitting up nice and straight. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, exhale. 2, 3, 4, and on 5 coming back through center. Going to go to the other side, so you're turning around, twisting. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Keep rotating, keep the neck nice and long. 4, and on 5, we're coming back to center, bringing the fingertips to the floor and keeping those shoulders out of the way, walking those fingers forward. Maybe bringing the forearm down, the seat's down, and you're extending and looking forward. Lengthening out of the lower back here, breathing wide here, looking forward. 2, inhale and exhale. Really take the time for that. 3, inhale and exhale. 4, inhale and exhale. 5. Walk those hands in, roll over those knees, and we are in table top. Relax the feet. Give the tail a little wag. I like to do that before I roll into a nice cat and cow. Again, rotating the arms so the chin comes in. Inhale. Exhale. Rotating the arms inwards. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, 4. Really stretch the front of the body. Exhale. And on 5. Back to tabletop. Right arm. Twist, turn, look up at the right hand and stretch that hand. Make a fist with the hand and rotate that fist. You're twisting. 3, 4, 5. Other direction. 1. Amazing amount of tension in that wrist there. 4, 5. Take an inhale there, and on the exhale you're going to bring that hand down and it's going to thread underneath the left. You bring the right head down, walk the left fingers forward, take an inhale, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 5 you walk those hands in, unthread that right arm, twist, look up at the hand, and then float that hand down to the mat. Rotate the arm clockwise so that you're going to circle around on that. I'm going to go the other way. 5, and then we're going to give that arm a nice shake, but all the way from the shoulder. And then you're back in tabletop. Other side. Left arm twist. Look up, the hand, make a fist with the hand. Let's rotate that one direction. Then the other direction. Take an inhale, stretch the hand, and you're going to thread that through. And you bring the left shoulder and the left side of the face down, walk the right hand forward. Inhale and exhale, 1, 2, 5. Walk those hands in, unthread that hand, bring it down, rotate that counterclockwise, and we're going around on that. And the other way. And you might notice that that's maybe quite tight. And then we're shaking that off. So give that arm a shake, not just the wrist, a shake the arm. Let it loose, it's very good for your nervous system. Bring your hand down. We're rolling into cat and cow. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel all the way in. Bring the chin into the chest. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And this time, when we come into the exhale, we're going to circle the hips out to the right, over to the left, and then forward into cow. Exhaling into cat, circling the hips, forward into cow. Exhaling cat, circling the hips, forward into cow. One, and then we're going to change direction. Circle, forward into cow. Cat, circle, forward into cow. Cat, circle, forward into cow. Tucking those toes under, sitting the seat back on the heel, and sitting back in toe squat. I have to say, toe squat is probably one of my more unpopular asanas when I'm teaching yoga, but we are using it in a healing perspective, stimulating the marmor points on the toes, the beginning and ending of those meridian networks, kidney, spleen, and liver, and you can give the sole of your feet a nice little massage there. And we're going to bring the hands out again and start flicking those fingers again, circling them around, circling the other way. And hopefully by the end of this course, toe squat won't be such an agonizing thought. Focus on the hands, and that'll help you to distract yourself from what's going on in the toes. And then we're going to bring the hands down, lift the toes up, and give those toes a lovely little wriggle. Circulate the foot, the ankles, point and flex, and feel that you're really moving the toes around, like I'm moving my hand around. I'm moving the toes around. I'm trying to get space in between the toes right now. And then I'm going to bring the hands down, and we're going to come into a nice lunge. So we're stepping the left foot forward, the foot is in front of the hands, then we're walking the fingers in and we're coming into a nice lunge. And then from here, you can see my hands are inside the foot. You're going to roll onto the edge of that left foot, and you're going to lunge in on the right hip, twisting around and taking that left hand onto that hip and easing that hip open. You might be able to take this a little bit further by bringing the right forearm to the floor and then easing in a little bit more. So right onto the edge of that left foot. Let's take 5 breaths there. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 5, rolling back onto the sole of the left foot, tucking the toes under on the right foot, sweeping the arms up on the inhale, sitting back on the heel on the exhale. Sweeping forward on the inhale, sitting back on the exhale, sweeping forward on the inhale, 4, 5, sweeping forward, lunging in, floating those hands down, stepping that foot back, right foot forward, again lunging in, rolling onto the edge of the right foot, so you open up that right hip and ooh, ease in there. Again, you can stay with the arm like this, or you can bring the left forearm down, and you're turning and looking at the right leg as you ease it open. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 5, coming back onto the sole of the right foot, tucking the toes under on the left. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, that's 3. Exhale. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Inhale, going in, floating the hands down, coming back to tabletop, giving that tail a nice little wag and rolling into cat and cow. How's that feeling now? How are we feeling now? Ooh, starting to feel a little bit looser now. 1 more inhale, 1 more exhale. And then coming up to kneel, we're going to turn around to the side of the mat, and you're stepping out the right foot. The right inside side of the foot lined up the side of the mat. Check that the knee is also tracking the direction of the foot, and you're coming into a mini warrior 2. Eyes on that front middle finger. And then the forearm onto that thigh, and again another extend over. Taking an inhale, and on the exhale, so you're lifting up and over. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, we're going to bring that palm to the outside edge of the left. We're going over the other way. 1, sliding that hand down the outside of that leg. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, we're back in the center, looking down at that middle finger. Taking an inhale, exhale, and we're going to go to the other side. Inhale, extended, little mini warrior 2, forearm to thigh, extended side angle. The great thing about doing this kind of mini warrior sequence when you've got this, when you're lower down to the floor, there just isn't, it helps you to emphasize more on the lift from this part of the body, what we're working on. 2, 3, going a little bit further. 4, and on 5, sweeping through, going in the other direction, sliding that hand down so that you lift up and over. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, we're back into that mini warrior 2. We're bringing the knees together, and then we're going to come up to stand. In our standing position, we're going to step the right foot forward. Hands are on the hips, foot down. Roll the shoulders out of the way again so the elbows point back. Hold those hips in position, and we're tilting from the pelvis. You can see my pelvis is tilting, my elbows are pointing back, and my neck is long, and I'm stretching the back of the legs. I'm using the back of the legs like crazy. Perhaps the fingers can even come to the floor, or maybe you have bricks, look forward, and then bend the elbows, and as you bring that right rib towards the right thigh, tucking the head in. Let's take 2 breaths there. 1, this is very strong in the back of the legs. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, we're going back the way we came, so we go forward, hands onto hips, bringing it up to stand, stepping the left foot in next to the right. It's going to step the right foot back, the left foot's forward now, hands are on the hips, you're rolling the shoulders out the way. Inhale, extend forward, so through the tilt in that pelvis there. As you lengthen forward, keep moving, hands to the floor, drawing the shoulders back and really using the legs. What you don't want to do is start rounding the back like this. You want that back to be nice and long, and you do that by drawing the elbows back. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, back the way we came, hands onto hips. Inhale, come up to stand. Exhale, step the feet together, and then let's step the feet wide. Open it wide. We're on the side of the mat again. Yeah, 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 yeah. Extend the arms out. Feet are almost at the hands. Hands on the hips again. Roll the shoulders out of the way. Tilt from that pelvis. So again, you're lengthening forward, keeping the back nice and straight and bringing the fingers down. Keep the left hand there and twist and rotate up to the right. Inhale, exhale, float that down. Swap hands. Inhale, rotate, twist. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, rotate, twist. Exhale, bring that down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. We're going to take that further now by walking those fingers to the left leg. Right hand over left knee. This time you're drawing the ribs towards the thighs. Keep the legs stable. Twist and look up at the left hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that hand down. Walk nice and deeply to the other foot. Draw the rib towards the thighs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those hands down. Walk them back to center. Inhale, extend. We go back the way we came. Soften the knees. Back up to stand. Extend the arms out and step to the front of the mat. From that front of the mat, we're going to roll down nice and flow down. So you can draw the arms up depending on the space of where you are. You can circle them around. You can flow down on a dive or a fold. But look forward, extend. Palms down, and we're going to step back to plank and take 5 breaths there. More of a loading here. 2, 3, 4, and on 5 we're going to lower all the way down. 1, look at my elbows the way they point back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're all the way down. Relax the feet. Inhale into a cobra. Exhale, extend back. Big toes touch. Feet are wide, and we are in child's pose there. 2, 3, 4, 5. From child's pose, we're walking our way back to a sitting position. We're going to bring the feet together, not the feet, the knees, and roll over and bring the feet out in front of you. Flex the feet. Inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, extend them out with the fingers facing forward. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, step that right foot in. Open the right knee out to the side. Inhale a nice extend, and on the exhale, lengthen towards that foot. And if you can't get to the foot without doing that, then just bring the hands onto the calf so that you're drawing the rib towards the thigh and folding down. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, you're coming up. And then you're bringing that knee in. We're going to wrap it around, do another twist. 3, 4, inhale and exhale, rotate. How's that twist feeling compared to when we started? Then you're going to come back through center. We're going to do a nice dynamic switch. Left knee, foot out. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lengthen. Fold, lengthen towards it. Bring that. You want to get lift and lengthen out of the lower back. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, inhaling up. Bring that knee in, wrap that right arm around. Let's twist to that way. 2. Sitting up nice and tall, not leaning into the back hand. 3, 4, and on 5, you're back in the center. Step the knees in, extend the legs away again, and maybe you need to slide forward in order to come down onto the floor. Relax the shoulders. And this really is a space right now. We're going to take 5 breaths here, where I want you to just relax all the muscles in the body. So the legs, the back of the legs, the glute muscles, round the hips, the tummy, the front of the body, the back of the body, the arms, the back of the hands, the back of the shoulders, the back of the head, and make sure that the head's in a position where the back of the neck's long. Inhale, and as you inhale, move all that. It's a little bit more space now. Inhale, move the ribs. Exhale, relax into it. 1. Inhale and exhale. 2. And exhale. 3. Inhale and exhale. 4. 5. You are welcome to press pause here and relax. Or you can move forward. We're going to do a nice gentle twist. Knees in. Wrap the arms around the knees, head in. Nice little squeeze. Put the head down. Relax the right hand to the floor. The left hand brings the knees to the floor on the left. You turn, look to the right. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2. That's it. Inhale fully. Exhale down to tummy. 3, 4. And on 5, knees back to center. Wrap the arms around. Chin into chest. No, forehead to knee. We're talking about knees to the right, relax. And you want to get to a place where the shoulders feel open there. And when you exhale, it feels very, 4, 5, back to center, extend the legs up, arms up, let's shake those about, and make some noise while you're doing that. Boom. Pressing pause, taking 5 breaths, whatever feels good for you. 2, 3, 4, and on 5, press pause or ring the knees in and roll over to one side. Come up to sit. We're back to where we started, except now Keeping the eyes closed or gaze low. Just let the eyelids softly close. Rest the eyeballs at the back of the eyelids. The back of the eyes is dark. The eyebrows feel like they're moving away from each other, and the forehead feels nice and open and flat, so that between those temples it's just a little bit more peaceful. The volume's turned down. Fluttering the lips. Relaxing the face. Nice long neck. And we're going to close this session with a mantra. And we're going to bring our hands together at the heart center, where the thumbs are just gently pressing back on the sternum. Connecting that physical heartbeat behind the thumbs with the fingers pointing up to the crown, to the spiritual heart. Connecting the twin hearts. And let's bring to the forefront of our mind our friends, our family, the people that we love, all our special people, the people that we live with, the people in our building, the people that we work with, the people that we know, the people that we like, and even the people that we don't like. Let's bring them to the forefront of our minds. And this is for them. May they be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease of heart. And for ourselves, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease of heart. And the last one, may all the people in this beautiful world, all living beings, all creatures, all plants, all sea creatures, the oceans, this beautiful landscape over mountains, around this beautiful world, Mother Nature herself, may they be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease of heart. Namaste. Thank yourself for making a commitment to yourself, to your practice, and to your better health, for the benefit of not just yourself, but the benefit of all beings. Hari Om.